Hello.
I'm so happy we're together. So we are coast to coast right
I
now.
know, right? Literally on two different. I love it. I
Isn't
love
this
it.
cool? I
Yeah.
know. I love it. It's so great. So happy Wednesday to everyone who's pressing play and watching this. I cannot wait for you to meet this week's mantra inspiration. If you want to kick it away and introduce yourself, that would be so wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Reka, and the reason why we're on different coasts is because I'm on the West Coast, the best coast.
I know, right?
I'm from Seattle, Washington, but right now I actually live outside of Seattle, like about 3 hours. And I am a radio personality. I've been one for over 16 years, which is weird because I'm only 22. So there's that. I'll be 23 June 29th. I'm just kidding. Way older than that.
I know.
Right.
Love it. Me too. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So radio personality, and I am moving into the space, well, have moved in over a year now as a life coach and a motivational speaker. And with that comes a whole story that I'm sure we'll get into on why I started my life coaching journey. I call myself the single girls life coach, where I help women discover their worth so that they understand that they are worthy regardless of their relationship status.
That is so important, especially nowadays. I feel like, things have shifted, right? Like in the past, we all thought, you think to yourself, if you're graduating college, it's time to now settle down and find a man and get married and have kids. And like nowadays we're moving into like, we figure out our careers until we're mid-30s. And it's like, is it okay? What's okay? But really it's all within.
Yeah. Well, and then back then, especially like, so my parents are baby boomers, them a little bit, but definitely the generations before that, women needed men to even get a house or a credit card or, and women didn't work and, stuff like that. And so I can see why the thought of, oh, a man makes me whole, happened. Because that's the way that our society was set up. But like you said, now, please, us millennials are like, so I want a career first and I don't want to be broke. And we think of all of these other things first, but it is still affecting. Yeah, it is still, the old way of thinking is still around a little bit.
It is.
And so that is what I'm pushing back against because I do not agree. I don't agree.
It's so good. What you do is so important. And so I'm grateful that even those who are watching and listening, I will absolutely include Reka's information so that you can reach out, you have a very empowering, wonderful energy. So on that note, I would love for you to share, what is your 2-word story?
I'm enough.
Love it.
And the why, right. It's exactly what we were just talking about. You see the
it's so whole. It's like,
right, exactly. Jerry Maguire lied to us. He lied to a whole generation. That movie, Jerry Maguire. You remember that scene where he's like, "You complete me," or whatever. And we all thought that's what we want. We want to be completed. That's so right. Yay! Da 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 da.
Right.
It's not right. It's not right. Happiness. Yeah, like happiness is an inside
ends
job.
with us. Starts and ends. Sorry, I cut you off. I was like, it starts and ends with us.
Yeah, starts and ends. Happiness is an inside job. And unfortunately, movies, what we see, maybe our parents, I don't know, have made us feel like, oh, as a woman, I am only worthy if a man picks me, if a man proposes to me. I remember Oprah Winfrey. Obviously, we all know Oprah, right? If you don't, that's very weird. I love Oprah has been my mother since I was 9, just so she just doesn't know yet. Yeah. So she said that when she was dating Stedman back in the 80s and 90s, and obviously they're still together, but she wanted so badly for Stedman to propose. She wanted to get married. That's what she thought she wanted and whatnot. And then when he did, that was the moment she said, uh-oh, wait a minute. I only wanted to feel that I was worthy enough to be proposed to. Yeah. I don't actually want to be married. What is this? And then obviously she never got married and never had kids. And so that's what I'm saying. Like the movies and whatever have shown us that a man picking you makes you enough. Right. No. I'm pushing back on that again. I am enough. I'm enough. 2 words. I'm enough. Right. And so that's the why behind it. And I know that women feel that way because that was me 2017 and prior.
Right.
I thought that I had to get the guy. That's the goal, right? The goal is to get married and have kids. That's the American dream. White picket fence. Da, da, da. It's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not. You know? Yeah.
And so for you, I know choosing these two words, it really is a mantra for yourself. Now, it can be your life mantra, maybe. So breaking down the mantras, it is every year I have the life mantra, but then there's a yearly mantra. To me, this sounds like your life mantra. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
so you'll constantly be circling back to this mantra and journaling on it, or thinking like, okay, but what is the reasoning why for you? Like, we know why from a bigger perspective, but like what caused you to choose
Where
those two words?
I come from. Yeah. So the reason why I brought up the year 2017 and prior, in 2015 is when I got into what unfortunately was an abusive relationship, verbally abusive relationship. And that was the first time I had ever been through something like that. And honestly, on the first week we started getting to know each other, I knew that this is not the guy. But because of so again, I grew up in Seattle. I went to Howard University. I've lived in Indianapolis. I've lived in New York. I've been everywhere, almost to any city you want to go to in America, I've been to, because I'm the traveling girl and I was having all this fun. And being a millennial, like we said, we're kind of late to the getting married and having kids party because we're trying to figure other things out. But then I moved here in this community that I'm in now. For now, I will be getting out eventually, and everybody here, it's a small town. There's only about, well, after the census, I'm sure it'll be more, but there's about 150,000 people here and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody here is married and they have kids. So I had no one that I was hanging out with that looked like me, that had a lifestyle like me. So
Mm-hmm.
that made me go, oh my God, oh my God, I missed the goal. Oh my God, I forgot about the goal. So my parents are still married. I love my parents. They've been married for over 40 years. They're super cute. My aunts and uncles are all married to the same people they were married to when I popped out of my mom. So that's all I know. So I thought that's what people do. You grow up, then first comes love, then comes the baby, then comes marriage, then comes the baby and the baby carriage. Right. So I was like, oh, that's the thing. And oh my God, I'm late. So that forced me to go down a spiral of trying to be in a relationship that was not for me. That's not what God wanted from me.
Right.
Absolutely not. He did not want that for me. And that lasted about 2 years. And oddly enough, he broke up with me just before my birthday. By the way, my birthday is June 29th. Yay. So right around my birthday in 2017, he broke up with me saying, oh, I can't trust you, when he was cheating on me. So if you don't know the words gaslighting and narcissist, look those up for sure. But that made me face myself finally. I was glad that I was released by him. I ran, like I was in Atlanta. I literally changed my flight that day. It cost me $537. I put it on my credit card and flew all the way back to Seattle, back to Washington State, got here and was like, I remember walking in my door right here, yelling in my house, what the hell was that? What was that? For 2 years.
You become lost. You really do. You kind of
Yeah.
crumble. Like, at least I've been there in different. So yeah. So then you picked yourself back up though. Like you.
Exactly. Yeah.
You made sense of it. And here, this in story is empowering women now because you have this. So what happened from there? Sorry.
Right. No worries. So then for like 2-3 months, so again, I'm on the radio. I didn't talk about it. So imagine trying to entertain people. In commercials, I would tell my co-host, I'll be right back. I would go in the bathroom and cry because I couldn't believe me. I'm a smart girl. I come from a 2-parent household. I went to Howard University. I own a house. My finances are together. Me. I got into a relationship like that. Absolutely not. So I was so mad at myself. I wasn't even mad at him. I was so mad at myself. And then I started opening up a little bit. But what really changed me is holding space for myself. And I went to Mexico on a solo trip for a week all by myself, Christmas of 2017.
Amazing.
Right.
Amazing.
And my parents, of course, were upset. They're like, but it's Christmas. And I was like, I don't care. Gotta go. Because I wanted to hear my own thoughts. I wanted to figure out what that just was. Why would I allow myself to be told all of these things that were negative about myself? Why would I listen to a man like that for 2 years?
Right.
And so I went to Mexico, and that's actually when I started journaling and reading. But I had 3 questions, and it was, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Who do I want to be? And who does
Wow.
God say I am?
That's beautiful.
Because my abusive ex would tell me that I was sneaky, I was a cheater, I was a liar, I didn't know how to love people, blah, blah, all these things that I thought were true because I thought that you couldn't see yourself, right? Like I can see myself when I'm looking in the mirror, looking in the video camera, but I thought that my abusive ex, he was looking at me, and so he's telling me these things. So that means he knows me better than I know me because he can
Right.
see me every day.
Right.
And I had heard that from men before.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And then, but then that ties into that I'm enough. So like when you're,
Yeah.
if you're ever in that scenario again, how to shut it down. So it's like, you had this notion in your mind, like my goal is to get married and have kids. And
Yeah.
maybe this is what it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be, but it's okay that he's telling me these things. I must be this. Wow. Like I didn't know that about myself. Like it's so incredibly sad, but at the same time, like, thank God swoops in and
And remove me.
removes
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
from that
Yeah.
situation. Like,
And it's now knowing, like, no matter what anybody says about me, you or whatever, as long as I am self-aware, they can say the most negative or say, you don't do this well or whatever. But I always say to myself, no, I am enough.
yeah,
God made me this way. And so I'm going to use my talents to do the purpose that he put me on this earth for. Just because you don't like it, or you're saying it's coming off like this, and listen, I'm not somebody who's out here being negative and being mean to people.
right.
I'm a good person,
Yes,
and that's enough. I'm enough.
yes, yes.
And we're all just trying, right?
It's
Yeah.
so wonderful. It's such, and that can be brought in as a mantra at any point. And that's what I love. I'm enough is that reminder to you. So if you're having a really rough day, honing in on those 3 questions, which I'll include those questions in the caption for others to think about for themselves, because it is within us first. It starts and ends. So you can be in the most perfect relationship with yourself, which then wills in, it brings in the right people, right? Like when I'm
Yeah.
enough, and you're able to push away anything that isn't fitting for you as a person, right? Like we have to know ourselves. I'm enough, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's about it when you know yourself and know that you're enough, you're better at setting boundaries.
Yes.
Uh, one of my clients told me that's what I taught her, that all these compromises that she was giving men, a little compromise here turns into a big compromise there, turns into a bigger compromise. And then she didn't recognize herself and she was unhappy. And so we started working on her boundaries. And now she's like, I love who I'm becoming. Like I
Yeah.
lay my head down at night and I'm happy about my decisions because
I'm
now I know, yes. And so it's like, now I know I'm enough. So I don't have to be excited that this man asked me to the movies or whatever. I don't have to be excited. Like, I know it's fun when guys tell us we're cute and when we like a guy, the butterflies, that is fun. And that's a good feeling, but I don't want that to be the driver for why you end up in a relationship when because now we should know ourselves, when he is not for you.
Yes.
So to know that I'm enough regardless of a man, I'm worthy regardless of my relationship status, then you will make better decisions for yourself.
Boom.
And that's where I'm at. It's like, you have to know if a guy likes you, you're allowed to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Also, men are allowed to say no to you. Not everybody's gonna like you.
Right.
And
that's okay.
yeah.
We're not meant to be liked by everybody. We're all our individual selves. Like you have a decision. Like it's so empowering and like so needed. Everything that you shared it's just so important for all of us, because we all technically, when we share these messages, we know this stuff, but the thing is we forget it.
Yeah.
And it's easy, even 2 years from now, circle back to your mantra, I'm enough. Who knows where you'll be in 2 years? It's always going to be there to serve you, to remind you. And I love that you were able to come on all the way from West Coast to share your 2-word story. So thank you for sharing in the mindset movement. Okay. Like this is us, like we got this. We're moving our minds. Our minds are so powerful. We can do this. So I can't thank you enough. And thank you to everyone who clicked play and watched the episode this week. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thanks for finding me.
Yeah.
I don't, the internet is weird that way. We can kind of tangle with each other. So I was really like shocked.
Well, now on social media, we're following each other, and I love your posts are really wonderful. And we're all in this together. Truly, we're a community that's here to support and lift each other. And your 2-word story, your life mantra is going to serve you. But week to week, I pick different mantras. Through our journaling exercises, I might realize that I'm enough is that's the big one. But what I need right now in this moment is keep going, or
or
stay
you can do it.
Get rest. I mean, that's been one recently. I've been very exhausted. So I'm just saying, like, the mantras are always there for you to, kind of interchange and fluctuate. So
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm sending love. And if you guys want to join on the movement, let us know. Drop a comment if you have a 2-word story to share. And if you connect to I'm Enough, try to use the mantra through the week. Answer the journal questions and see what it does to inspire your heart. And definitely follow Reka because she's got some good stuff. And it sounds like your coaching is absolutely incredible. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be here.
Bye.